Hi, Ellen.
Hi, Dustin.
Guess what?
What?
We're back.
We're back.
We took a little bit of break for the holiday,
We did.
but we are back with Let's Build with
Ellen.
and Dustin. So this week, what are we talking about?
The 3D movie.
3D what?
Movie.
Oh, a movie.
A movie.
Do you get glasses?
No.
Don't you normally get glasses with a 3D? Because it's supposed to pop out at you?
Not that kind of 3D.
Well, what kind of 3D movie is it then?
It's a 3D rendering of the house.
Oh, okay.
So you can see the depth of the walls and stuff like that. It's not like 3D pop out at you.
Say that 3 times fast.
I can't. But it's just a 3D rendering, so it's not just like flat.
So it's like a virtual walkthrough.
Yes.
In theory.
Yes.
Okay. Don't roll your eyes at me.
I didn't mean to.
People can't see it, but I did. So it's a 3D, or it's a virtual walkthrough of the house. So what makes that different than like a Matterport or some of them like virtual tours that you see with real estate?
Yeah, so this is different because it's not actual like photos.
Okay.
Like Matterports or dollhouse views that you see like on existing homes. A lot of times they go in and they set up a 360-degree camera at different points throughout the house. And then they compile that all into a software like Matterport. And then you can walk through the house. It's still like, it's not an actual photo of the house. And even in those like Matterport video and stuff like that, you can't really see the depth of some stuff depending on the software.
The camera kind of skews some of that.
Yes.
Because of the 3D side of it.
Right. So this is, once you get through drafting and everything like that, this is part of that drafting fee that we include. That drafter then creates this 3D movie. So what it is you get to, you see a 3D rendering of your house.
That's not popping out at your eyes.
Correct.
That you can't just reach out and grab it.
Correct.
It's a 3D of the house.
Right.
So then from there, it's a virtual walkthrough kind of the different rooms.
Right. And it's going to be, all just kind of white walls for the most part.
There's some customization.
We can do a little bit of customization, but it's more just to give you a feel of what the flow of the house is going to be and see the space that you're going to have.
Yeah. I think it depends which drafter we end up using. That depends on the customizations, because obviously the more customizations we add in, the higher the cost, because the more time it takes to add all them customizations.
Absolutely.
In. So what is the importance, or what's the big deal of doing a 3D movie?
So this is what we call one of all of the steps that we've been talking about are emotional touch points and stuff, but this is kind of really the first big emotional touch point in our process.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I was thinking the lot visit a little bit if we stake out where somebody's house is going to be. Yeah. But yeah, no, but
So what the 3D movie is for us is it's not just we send you this link. We're going to make a movie night out of it. So we're going to have you into the studio and we're going to have popcorn, bring the kids, have comfy chairs, all this stuff. We're going to make it a big deal. And then we're going to play this movie, and what it is it shows you what your dream home is going to look like.
Yeah.
And so that's what the importance is it gets, for me personally, I'm definitely a visual person. And so seeing drafted plans, it's hard for me to envision, the height of the ceiling and how far I'm going to have to walk between this cabinet and this cabinet. And, how, like, obviously it's a little skewed because it's on a TV screen, but you can get a much better feel for it.
Absolutely. And we have a program that we have the ability to do a mini rendering of the current floor plan that's in our, that's in
without
the books,
any changes.
Without any changes.
Right.
So we can kind of see some of that. And it's kind of, it gives you we've seen some floor plans that have I won't call it weird for lack of better words, but a weird shaped island, like a big half moon or a big rounded island that walking through it with the system that we have kind of makes it, put it in a little bit better perspective. It gives you a better visual.
Absolutely. And so, that's something, if somebody really is like, well, how's this island going to look? We can pull that up quick and be, obviously we can't make any customizations if you've made the island bigger, smaller, whatever, but you can still see a little bit of that. But this 3D movie is truly what, after we've signed off on that final set of plans of, yep, this is what we want, then they make this 3D movie. You know, your walls are going to be where you've decided they're going to be.
Absolutely. So it's what your floor plan is. It's
Right.
not just a generic one out of a book that they do this to.
Absolutely.
So leading up to this, how did we get to this step? So we went through the 4-chair,
Yep.
which pretty much gave us everything that somebody is looking for in their dream home.
Correct.
We went with the lot visit. We gave them ballpark pricing. We kind of decided that the price works for what their budget is and what they want in the house. We went through...
Selections.
Well, we went through the design agreement and pre-approval.
Yeah.
We got pre-approval from the bank, or if it's a cash deal, whatever.
Right.
We found financing.
Yes.
Then we went through the design agreement, which we sent everything to the drafters to get the buildable set of prints.
Yep.
That was the first time that we've collected any money from anybody, technically, to pay for the drafting fees.
Yep.
Then we went through all the selections while that's kind of going on, while they're building this.
Yeah.
So we kind of have an idea of what's happening and what's going on in the house.
Yep.
And then, let's see, it seems like there's one more step in there, Ellen.
We gave kind of a quote price.
Oh, yeah, we sent the price into Wausau to give us a quote price of what they think that, or what the cost is going to be, so we can nail down that price a little bit. And we've nailed it down with the subcontractors and everything. So really, after this 3D movie, what emotions or what do you see happening during this?
Well, like I said, we make it a whole big thing, and we're gonna watch that movie, and we're gonna watch it a couple times because it's not long.
No, they're about 5 minutes roughly.
Right. So we're gonna watch it a couple times, and you're gonna notice things different and stuff, and kind of like what you touched on. I wanted to touch on a little bit more of the customization within that 3D movie. I mean, we can go up to the extreme of putting the kid's name on their door. So then the movie goes through and it says, Johnny. And then it walks through and Johnny gets to see what his room's going to look like. And they'll put a bed in there so you can kind of get that spacing of, okay, well, Johnny's got a full-size bed, not a twin. Well, we'll put it in there so you can see, okay, this is about how much space we're going to have.
Well, and sometimes with that, I mean, we've seen it where they put like a favorite picture, a picture that's going to go in like a room,
something similar to what it's going to look like.
If Johnny loves dinosaurs, we could put a dinosaur
on the wall,
stuff
like that. So we're going to really make it, and so because of that, there's going to be emotion. I know for me, like when I've walked through houses and stuff like that, and when I was buying my personal house, when I walked in, it was like, and after I'd done all the remodel, like there was an emotional reaction because it's like, this is what I wanted and stuff. And so even more with this, because it's completely custom, it's that person's dream home. They're finally seeing their dream come to fruition. And so naturally they're going to see that. And then we're going to just seamlessly transition into, let's do this.
Yeah. Well, it's so much easier because it's like what you said. People are visual. Some people can see it on a plan and kind of picture like, oh, yeah, I think this is going to look well. This is going to work well here. Other people, they need to walk through it to see it. And it's hard being a panelized, scattered lot builder. Right. It's hard for us to say, here, Ellen, here is a Iron River house that we built last year or we built 2 weeks ago.
Well, and even
let's go walk through it so you can see what it looks like.
And
it's
even
hard.
Within that, we can change so much.
Oh, absolutely.
With some more developers and stuff like that, there's some customization and stuff as far as little things, but
usually it's your customizations of your cabinets, your flooring,
your counters,
paint color,
your paint, right?
And that's if you get in it soon enough,
right? And so it's easier for them to walk in and say, hey, here's floor plan X. This is what it's going to look like. This is the space you're going to have. Whereas we could say, yeah, we just built this Iron River last year, and maybe you're looking at the Iron River, but these people bumped out the back 10 feet, and they did this and this. So it's not at all what you're looking at. Yeah. And so, but to your point of with us being a scattered lot builder and just being not developers, and that's not what we want to be. No. And just being more of kind of your mom and pop builder in my mind of this gives people a chance to see what they're going to be in.
Well, being the custom home builder and building a house your way,
Right.
this is like the best option for people to see it.
Right.
And like I said, if people want to kind of see like a general idea, like, yeah, we can walk them through the program that we have that gives them a brief idea to help finalize a plan. But this, it is an option. We highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's not a requirement if people don't care, but I'm just going to tell people right now, like, you want to see this.
Oh, yeah.
Because not only is it's not like we have this video and then we just keep it. No, it's on YouTube. We're going to give you a YouTube link because maybe grandma and grandpa live 3 states away, and you can send them this link and say, hey, look at what our house is going to look like.
Yeah.
And
they're
going to love that.
I'm trying to think which point. I know you had a couple of points in there I was going to touch on. But being custom, it's hard because everything's changing.
Right.
And it's easier to have this so you can know exactly what it's going to look like. Now I forgot what I was going to think about. You kept going on, and
I know, I'm sorry.
Forgot to think about it.
I tend to ramble.
It happens.
But no, like, after this movie, it's going to be a seamless transition. And obviously, if people need to step back, it's fine. But
because they might be crying.
They might be crying and stuff like that. But we have found, and a lot of Wausau builders have found, that it is just a natural transition into our next step, which I think we can just talk about that right now, which is the contract signing.
Yeah.
And that's when we're going to give you that firm price. And you're going to know exactly what you're going to pay, when you're going to move in, when your set day is going to be. We will have all of that ready.
Some of the set day might be a little bit longer out, depending to get some of that, because some of that falls down under the schedule of Dream Home.
That's true.
But you're going to have more of the set price and a little bit of a pretty good rough move-in date. But you're pretty much, once we go through this 3D movie, that's the next step is to sign a contract saying that, yes, I want to build that house because it's exactly what I want.
Right. And going off of that, we have had people, we've heard, one of the people up at Wausau Corporate, they were building a Wausau home and they convinced their wife to move a wall. And then they got to the 3D movie and it was, oh crap. Nope, she was right, which no man ever wants to say.
Yeah.
And then, they had an extra fee because they had to redraft the plans and stuff like that. But they moved that wall back or whatever the situation was.
Yeah.
But sometimes people will do the 3D movie and had made a change that looked good on the flat print, the flat blueprint, but then you get and you see it in 3D and you're like, whoa, that changed that room way more than I thought it was going to.
That was the point that one of the points I want to make was after the 3D movie, nothing like if you find something you want to change, we can still change it.
Right.
There's obviously added fees and on that side of it, but it might not be added fees because maybe you liked the plan how it was. We didn't do any other revisions. This might be the second revision, so it's covered, depending on which developer or which drafter and everything. But after the 3D movie, we definitely still have the ability to change the blueprint it altogether. So we always connect this to other builders.
Yeah.
And not just Wausau.
Yes.
How do we connect this one to other builders?
This one's a little hard, I'm going to be honest, because it's a pretty unique thing because not every builder all across the country is going to have the technology to do this.
No, but I'm going to back up and say that every drafter does. Most drafters have the ability to do a 3D movie or a 3D rendering of the house.
Yes, drafters may, but if a builder already has, a set plan or whatever and they don't have that connection with the drafter anymore or something.
Yeah.
Or smaller.
If they're just building a traditional spec house.
Right.
Standard, no changes.
Yeah, so there could be a hurdle to jump through.
Yeah.
And this isn't going to be something that everybody's going to offer because it is an added cost. But we think it's important because of the emotional and the visual side of things is so people can really see what they're going to get.
I think overall, like if you go to a builder and they don't offer it, I think you almost want to find somebody that does.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that there is so much, it's so hard to tell how much space you have between your island and your counters.
Right.
We see some blueprints, and we've looked at a few for a couple clients lately, that the island sits, it looks like 10 feet away, and there's so much space between the island and like the sink or that back corner because it's at an angle. But we pull it up, through our quick software and see, and
And you're like, oh, that makes sense.
it makes sense.
It's fine.
Perfect amount of space.
There's still enough room for 2 people to walk by, but not much more.
Yeah, because if somebody is investing the money in building a brand new house with Wausau or with any builder, having this touch point to show them exactly what the house is going to look like, and not just a spec house or a Matterport house, dollhouse, whatever that other people have built, what they actually want,
Right.
is going to help make that decision that they are happy with what they're building easier.
Right.
Because
yes.
you don't want it where you spend, $350,000, $500,000 on a house that's going to be your forever house, your dream house on the lake.
And then you get there and it's not.
And then the walls go up, and then all of a sudden, because you can still walk through a studded out house, and you're like, okay, this kind of feels right. But you start putting drywall in, and then cabinets and flooring and
Right.
furniture, and it just does not look right.
Right.
Whereas if you can kind of have some of the 3D movie that has a little bit of furniture,
Yeah,
your
and
cabinets,
it's going to be to scale on, the size of a couch. Because you can, I know for me, like just visualizing, okay, how big is a couch, and then trying to like even draw that on some plans to try and see it. It's like, I have no, this doesn't make sense, but you put it in a 3D visual. Like I said before, I'm a visual person. So you put that in, and it's like, okay, that's how much room on that wall the couch is going to take up.
Absolutely. So I think going with other builders that don't offer it, I know we've said it before, you might want to run.
Yeah, or
see-
ask why they don't.
Or see what the cost would be to add it.
Yeah.
Just because when you get done, you're building the house that you want. You want to make sure it's what you want. Because once that house gets framed and drywall goes up, you're not changing much.
Yeah. And I think even if it's not a full, I'm just thinking for other builders who maybe this whole full 3D movie isn't, if they don't have any kind of 3D software for you to, even if it's that quick software, and maybe they've got one, I know there are some that you can change the walls and change stuff and it'll update.
Right.
If they don't have anything like that, that's a middle ground of a compromise, I would say.
Yeah.
I would, if I can still customize it and see, and then see the changes I've made and still walk through the house
Right.
in a 3D style,
Yeah.
that I think is a good compromise.
Yeah.
Because like I said, some people may not have the technology.
And
Most should.
I was going to say, I think nowadays, from what I've seen with other builders and heard from other builders, different, lumber yards even, they have the drafters and everything have that, because and I'm going on to like stuff that's not even on our touch points, but you look at permitting.
Right. They need to
They've
make
got
sure
to have an
everything's
updated set
true.
of prints. So I think most builders should have that opportunity,
Right.
or their drafter should have that opportunity, because they're going to have an updated set of prints with all
Right.
the elevations and everything. So
Right.
I think that covers actually our next 2 touch points, but
Yeah.
3D movie
Yep.
and the contract signing, which is just when somebody's signing a contract, make sure you read through it, sign on the dotted line, agreeing that you're going to build the house.
And before you sign that contract, you should know exactly what you're going to pay.
Absolutely. That's a big thing that we've been preaching, because we are under the firm price, and that's where the firm price comes from, the quote price. Making sure that with the 3D movie that it's exactly what you want.
Yep.
You sign the contract, and then we move into appraisals and schedule a home, dream
Yeah.
home and stuff. So I think with that, our next podcast is going to be a little bit on the appraisal process.
Yes.
See how much we can get through it, being real estate agents or real estate agent.
Yes.
And there's some other things in there that go through, like cabinet
Yeah.
designing process.
Yep. There's some stuff that we do while appraisals are happening.
Yes.
But
'cause
we'll touch on
appraisals
that
take a
next
little
week.
while. Absolutely. So we have 2 more touch points under firm price.
Yep.
And then we move into Ellen's really favorite part of the whole process.
It's where the fun happens.
It's all where the fun happens. So join us next time when we talk about appraisals on Let's Build with
Ellen.
and Dustin. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, Let's Build with Ellen and Dustin. This podcast is brought to you by Wausau Homes Waverly. Located in Waverly, Iowa, a panelized custom home builder, building a house your way with a firm price and on time. Be sure to check us out online or on Facebook, Wausau Homes Waverly, or wausauhomes.com. And be sure to check out our next podcast on your favorite podcast platform, however you found this podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next podcast.